Emma, last thing I want to talk about, I know that you work support for an EHR company, our favorite, Jane. And support is an interesting correlative to, it's kind of like, in some ways, people don't call into support until the system's really wrong, and people don't go to your office until the system's really wrong.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
definitely.
so I'd love to know what lessons you took away from that kind of feed you in how to work with people, talk to them, and kind of expectations too, because support and medicine both have very low expectations for how much
Hmm.
is going to happen on a call, you know?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
I think the first thing that, like, I mean, we talked about at the beginning, Doc, was like,
yeah.
listening, right? When I used to receive a support call, the first thing, and some of them are more heated than others, is listening. Like, find out, okay, what are they having issues with? What is going wrong? What are they sometimes just mad about, right? And just giving them the time to listen is really important. And it was like that when we would take a call, and like also with our patients, right? Just we gotta keep our ears open and give them that time, because sometimes even for a patient, sometimes it is just venting, right? Sometimes it is just letting it off their chest about something, and you just gotta listen for that. So I think those like active listening skills really transferred over, because also like you're trying to quickly problem solve in your head and get things going, but then like not interrupt because they're not done, that sort of thing. So I would definitely say like my listening skills transferred over very well.
That's awesome. Yeah, because I think it's, doctors interrupt because they want to give you the solution because, they're kind-hearted people. They don't want to see you suffer for one more minute. And I'm sure in support, you're like, I know exactly what the problem is. Just clear your cache and cookies. I know that's what it is. I know that's what it is. I think that's what it is. But if you were to say that too early in the conversation, it doesn't come across as a useful suggestion. It comes across as, hey, you're not that smart, and let me help you out, which is,
Yeah.
it sets up the wrong situation. You'll never recover from that.
Yeah. Or, my video call on my phone isn't working. And it's like, well, are you trying to do the call in the forest in your car? Because maybe your connection, or, sometimes it is very
No,
simple.
that can't be it.
No,
I know what it's happening. I know it's happening.
no. And like sometimes, we know Jane works best on a Chrome browser, but then they'll say like, well, we use Firefox. Okay, well, let's try it on a different one. But yeah, you gotta listen, you gotta hear them out, and then take it from there.
So with that, last thing I would love to hear is, can you share a story of when you actually listened in support and you found out something that's totally different, or listen with a patient and you found out something that surprised you, shocked you, totally changed your diagnosis or your treatment method?
I can't think of a support call because that was so long ago that I haven't been in that seat for a couple of years. But
But for those listeners, Emma's still 24, young 24. So
I wish. No, I actually don't wish, because that was school and that was hard. I actually don't think necessarily a diagnosis changed, but I think where I was, listen, and I think the importance of physical exam came in quite recently, just in the spring for me, was I had a patient, perimenopausal, like very average, no real concerns, just sort of like, yeah, things are changing a little in my mood, in my periods, whatever. And I was listening to her and I'm like, okay, like, we're sort of like, does she need it? Does she not? Like, how you were sort of talking. And then I took her blood pressure, and her blood pressure was 225 over 110.
Thanks for tuning in to this episode of Trust Driven Insights, brought to you by TrustDrivenCare. Imagine a world where all your patient communication is in one place, seamless, effortless, and on autopilot. That's the power of Trust-Driven Care. If you're ready to streamline your practice, check out TrustDrivenCare.com and see what's possible. Trust-Driven Insights. Real conversations. Smarter care. Stronger business.